growing is a form of meditation. It's a form of calming the mind. It's a form of sort of looking for that perfect stroke. It's a form of looking at harmony and balance and rhythm. And in experiencing that, it is both exhausting, but yet renewing. Both parents came from Puerto Rico literally on a boat. The influence was really quite interesting because English was the second language. And it was challenging because you spoke Spanish at home and yet had to be quite fluent in English. And it was a struggle in a sense because you wanted to assimilate and not be looked at differently. It really developed in me a sense of tolerance and to acceptance of who you are and not to suppress the culture, but yet still contribute to what you now call home. West Point was one of the watersheds for me, but it was not your usual walk in the park, so to speak. It was tear you down and then build you up into somebody of character who professes duty, honor, country. Really what I wanted to do was to leverage the transformation that took place while at West Point to really heal people. And that then led to medicine and then specifically surgery. In the operating room, it was, I think, one of the things that contributed to what some people would characterize as the ability for me to be imperturbable, the equanimity that I'm having. And doing it in a way that you're able to then sort of bring together the group of people that are working with you, and people feel that they have self-agency. So that, I think, the foundation for that was at West Point. What Dr. Koop really emphasized to me is that every child is worth saving. And that it was important for you to not simply do what you could in the operating room, but to look more systemically to see why is it that children are perhaps dying as a result of injuries, and why is it that a child has an increased risk of cancer. Not only take care of them in the operating room, but also do what's necessary to address the causes.
Victor realizes that through social change, he could have a bigger impact than the point-to-point service he would provide to a patient, right? So if he could heal a whole family, then he's multiplied himself.
I retired from the military after 20 years and sort of received this offer from Maury Ziegler, who said, look, Vic, I'd like you to come to Cincinnati Children's. We do not have a trauma program. I'd like you to build a trauma program here at Children's. It was with the stipulation that I would have the latitude and the resources to deal with the causes of injury.
As a physician, he saw too many children, especially Hispanic and African American children, coming into the ER with devastating and sometimes fatal injuries from car crashes, and he wanted to do something about it. So he approached us at Toyota and said, I know you guys do research on the topic. Can we join forces and figure out how to address the root cause of this? So that began Buckle Up for Life.
Core Change then has the vision and mission of bringing health, peace, and prosperity for all children of all species for all generations. If we could achieve a business model that grows produce in the inner city in abandoned buildings that now really contribute to the social dislocation, and do it in a way that you can grow on the equivalent of 1 acre in a building, what otherwise takes 3 to 6 acres out on the field. We do it in a way that it hires individuals from the inner city, and we then share that produce that's grown hydroponically with not just the restaurants, but the children's hospitals, the Procter & Gamble's, the various entities there that are sort of consuming this produce. We could make a great impact, a tremendous impact.
But he's got this never-ending passion to have an impact on Cincinnati. And I think he identifies Cincinnati as his home. And have somebody with his abilities to interact with people, mental abilities, just every ability. I think every city in the world would love to have somebody like him.
Shortly after I graduated from West Point, I married a woman named Allison Davine. She's the mother of my two beautiful daughters. When she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma at a very young age, she stared it in the face and basically gave it the finger and said, "This is not going to change our lives." She died about 3 years after that diagnosis. That was a very important part of my life. And then another woman came into my life. She got word that I was sort of not eating and kind of lonely. And so she sent a picture of herself with her horse and these chocolate macadamia nut cookies. Without the two women in my life as sources of inspiration and power, I know that I would not be where I am. My daughters. These are truly two type A, extraordinarily accomplished women, went on to become lawyers. And then the 6 grandchildren that they were able to produce.
Someone once told me that some people lead with their minds or brains, some folks lead with their guts or instincts, but I believe Dr. Garcia is one of those people who leads with his heart. And when you lead with your heart, barriers seem to disappear.
I think what I'm most proud of is that I've been able to bring laughter to children who, because of their conditions, didn't feel that they could laugh. That I've been able to make an impact on families that have come to me as a surgeon. But even beyond that, that I've been able to give the community a sense of hope and possibility when they felt that there wasn't any.